Okay, so it looks like we are live. So, oops, sorry. I forgot to move OBS over. Yes. Okay, so today we will dive into Rive again, this time with the educational material they provide, and also with access to the standalone app, which is probably exactly the same, but still. And the first thing I wanted to say is that I really do love these. It looks like all the tapes for Walkman's thumbnails. It's really nice. And the plan is to first take a look at this video. And I've seen that it's actually pretty damn long. So I'm not sure we will be able to cover everything in just one session. But also, I wanted to check before the live that if those items were extracts from the videos. Maybe I've just been unlucky. So I clicked on the state machine one, and the video was not found. So yeah, maybe some links are broken. So let's dive into the video and see what we can learn from it, because we are still at the very beginning of our Rive journey and there is much to be learned. Okay.
Hello, and welcome to this Rive Quick Start tutorial. Today we're going to be making an interactive, resizable menu that can be used in real time in your apps, websites, or games. In the first stage of this tutorial, we're going to create the entire design using layouts. We're then going to move on to animation, data binding, and then we'll implement the state machine logic. And at the end, you'll hopefully have a fully functioning menu. Let's begin. This is the Rive editor. And of course, I want to create an artboard. I'm just going to use the default 500 pixels by 500 pixels.
I wonder why, because I'm not sure what media uses a squared layout, but let's try to follow it. So default and okay, so
over here on the left, you'll see the artboard's hierarchy, which is currently empty apart from the artboard itself. We also have the assets panel, which is empty, and we have the data panel, which has something called View Model 1 inside. On the right-hand side of the editor, you'll see the inspector. This is where we can see all of the properties of the selected layer. In this case, we've selected the artboard, and so this is all of the artboard's properties. At the top, you'll see that it is bound to View Model 1. So what is View Model 1? Well, view models are part of our data binding feature that we're going to cover a little bit later. But in essence, a view model is a place to create and control various properties that we can then use.
Okay, that's interesting. I completely overlooked this section. Oh, this is already pretty different. Okay, no, it's in data. It's just that now we have HNTBO. So here we have the different type of variables: number, string, boolean, color, trigger. So I would say it's a mix between After Effects, Houdini, and N8. It's impossible to say. N88. No. Ouais. Okay, you get it. Just because there is a trigger. But okay.
As part of our designs and as conditions in our state machine. So for now, I'm going to return to the hierarchy and I'm going to rename this artboard menu. You can also rename artboards over here as well. Let's explore a few of the menu's settings. For instance, we can change its size. We can change its background color. But for now, I'm actually going to delete this background so that we start with a blank slate.
Okay, so blank slate. Where's the field? Okay, and we call that menu. So far, nothing really far off what we've already seen the last time. I don't remember what this menu is, but does he have it? No. close it. Okay. It opens when I double click on the menu view model. Nothing happens when I click here. So I can add stuff in there. Instance 1. Still pretty unclear to me. Let's move back to the tutorial.
Open the data panel, and I'm going to rename this view model menu view model. Awesome. To design this.
Okay, so oh yeah, I didn't name the correct stuff.
This menu, we're first going to make a bunch of different components, and it
Active. Ah, I didn't notice that. Active menu. I want to start again, just to check something. File name untitled. Okay, so you're untitled. So let's I just closed it. Delete. Yes. New file. Create artboard. Remove the fill. So now your artboard. Data. Okay, so data has nothing to do with the fact that there is a play near artboard. I think it's weird just to react to the video, so maybe I'm doing stupid stuff just to be there. I don't know, it's my first reaction video, so...
It's in this menu artboard that we're going to nest all of those components in a layout. The first component that I'm going to create, I'm just going to put up here. Now, a component is actually a type of artboard, and the shortcut to create a new artboard, we're first going to make a bunch of different components. And it's in this menu artboard that we're going to nest all of those components in a layout. The first component that I'm going to create, I'm just going to put up here.
I don't know exactly if the word layout is that special in here, or if it's just referring to composition, or is it more? I'm not sure. That was why I needed to re-listen to the phrase to see if I could grab anything more from the context.
Now, a component is actually a type of artboard, and the shortcut to create a new artboard is A. Then click and drag. Call this artboard item.
What?
Then click artboard, and the shortcut to create in a layout. The first component that I'm going to create, I'm just going to put up here. Now, a component is actually a type of artboard, and the shortcut to create a new artboard is A. Then click.
A component is a type of artboard. That's interesting. So, A, he said. A component is a type of artboard. Okay. That means that the artboard is probably I find it very intriguing that the artboard is the primitive for components, if I may say so. I'm not sure that I am employing the terms correctly, actually, but I didn't expect that at all.
Drag. Call this artboard item. And just like the menu, I'm going to delete its background. And now to...
Maybe I should keep notes of things we learn here.
And this artboard into...
to reflect afterwards. Okay, let's just do a new one. So what he said is that components are artboards.
To a component, all we have to do is click this symbol. A component that I'm going to create components. And it's in this menu artboard that we're going to nest all of those components in a layout. The first component that I'm going to create, I'm just going to put up here. Now, a component is actually a type of artboard, and the shortcut to create a new artboard is A. Then click and drag.
A component is a type of artboard. Oh, so Control Shift wakes up. Oh, allows to move across, design and animate panels. But what I actually wanted to do is to Control Shift inside of Arc, which I failed to do for some reason. The type of... I think the distinction makes a big difference. That's why I went back to that. It looks like artboards are primitives at a very high level.
Call this artboard item. And just like the menu, I'm going to delete its background. And now to turn this artboard into a component, all we have to do is click this symbol. All this means is that we can now nest this component in a different artboard. But before we do that, let's design this item. And I want...
Okay, so I'm no expert at this, but this looks very web designy because component is something that I came across with web design, and a lot of it is based upon that. So it's not really animation lingo. So click on that to make it a component. So, and clearly in the definition it gave, it perfectly fits what I understood of what components are in things like React. It's stuff that you can use and reuse across various compositions. So this little symbol always makes me think of an oil, because in France we have an oil company that is called Le Sieur that has this exact logo. So oily components it is.
I want my item to have a picture over
I'm not proud of that.
here and a couple bits of text. For the picture, I'm going to open my assets panel, and now I'm going to import some pictures into Rive. Those images have successfully imported into Rive, so I can close this folder, and now I can show you what these images are. We have a picture of a black helmet, which is 250 pixels by 250 pixels.
Do they provide this material? Yeah. I should have done that beforehand, but I don't see where I can download the material. Ooh. Download. All right. Ah, no. Ah, it's the project. It's not the files. I'm annoyed. I'm pretty annoyed. Okay. Ah, it looks like I'm not the only one. Maybe I shouldn't download something like so, but doesn't look malicious, so okay. Let's trust this guy. I think it was genuinely being useful. I will need to just obfuscate for a sec, which I should have done before, but looks like I already did download it. Okay, we're back. Sorry. So I have the assets. Oh, outboard are assets. That's interesting. The problem is I don't know which outboard is which. Oh, maybe this is. Okay. What? That's weird. I don't understand why only this would. Okay, so maybe each artboard is its own composition, and if I drag this into this, no. Okay, I'm not sure I get it yet, but let's continue. No, where is it?
Size is as small as I could make it, and it's been used 0 times. The next one is a blue helmet, it's the same size, green helmet, and a white helmet. I'm just going to drag the black helmet onto the item component. This automatically zooms into your component, but we can zoom out by pinching. I can change the size of...
By pinching. We can zoom out by pinching. If we have a touchpad, which we haven't. So I'm looking for a, oh, it's Control Alt to zoom in, zoom out with the wheel. Oh, just Control actually. The hand is both on the right click and the middle click. And Control, yeah. So that's not exactly what I'm used to, because in Houdini, I'm sorry, I'm not used to that setup, and I tend to look up there instead of looking at the camera, which is bad, I know, but let's move on.
The image, and I can change its position by clicking and dragging. I'm just going to leave it. I can change the size of the image, and I can change the size of the image.
Okay.
And I can change its position.
I really like the fact that you can do that. So it's not uniform by default, which I'm not sure is the right call, but what do I know?
By clicking and dragging. I'm just going to leave it over on the left-hand side. Now I'm going to create a couple bits of text, shortcut T. This first bit of text will be the item name. I'm going to change its font size to 30, and I'll change its style to bold. Then I'll create another bit of text, and this will be the item class. I'll change the font size to 20. And finally, I'm actually going to create a third bit of text that will be a long description that will live underneath the other elements of this design.
Okay, so it did make it a bit smaller. Okay, right there, T. So item name. What? Item name? Why isn't Whisper working in there? This is weird. Item class. And this is a long text description of the article, blah blah blah, lorem ipsum. Okay. There's definitely something weird going on with the text field. You cannot. Okay, now I can paste. But why I haven't been able to paste with the Whisper? Okay, so maybe if I took the clipboard, yeah. Okay, this is a workaround, but it's weird that I need to do this. I'm used to input text with Whisper Flow, and it doesn't seem to work inside of Rive. So the content of the clipboard lives inside the windows, and this also doesn't seem to work. So you can only Control V. Every other manner of pasting text looks to be broken. Even right click. This is super strange. Is it better in the web app? So sorry, I will need to log in. Don't remember if I used Google or not. I think I did. Yes. So this is this one. Oh, it's broken in the web app too. I mean, the desktop app is probably just an Electron wrapper of the web app, so this is not that surprising, but this confirms the fact that we probably don't need to do that kind of checking again, because comportment behavior will be aligned between the two. Anyways, okay, so I will quit here because I don't want to be duplicated. So I lost my rhythm. Oh, so I probably have an answer here of
Also,
what
we have our 4 different elements, and you can see the name. I'm going to change its font size to 30.
How did I miss that last time? So you have text styles and the font size is here. And I've been looking for that for maybe 5 minutes the other day. And Ah, really? I'm confused. How did I miss that? Anyway, I think he did 30 and bold. Yeah. Mm.
I'll change its style to bold. Then I'll create another bit of text, and this will be the item class. I'll change the font size to 20. And finally, I'm actually going to create a third bit of text that will be a long description that will live underneath the other elements of this design. Awesome, we have our 4 different elements, and you can see them in the hierarchy. Now I want to arrange these using layouts. But what is layouts? Well,
Okay, let's finish that before we do any. Okay, so this is a bit weird because you really do need to, if the text is living in the box, you cannot interact with it at all if you're not actually interacting with the box. Okay, so let's hear what he has to say about
in
layouts.
short, layouts is a design system in Rive that lets you arrange elements in either rows or columns. And you can put columns inside rows, you can put rows inside of columns, rows inside of rows, columns inside of columns. You can basically arrange your designs in any way that you want, create designs that can resize and reflow depending on the size of your component, or the artboard, or even the size of the device that your Rive file is playing on. I usually
This looks super useful.
start by arranging the smallest pieces of my design into layouts and then work my way out. For instance, these 2 bits of text should be arranged in a column. Then this column and this image should be arranged into a row. And then this row and this text description should be arranged into another column. Let me show you how. So I'll just highlight these 2 bits of text and tap Shift L. As you can see in the hierarchy, this has been arranged into a column. This is because the 2 layers were more on top of each other than next to each other, and so Rive calculated that they should be arranged in a column instead of a row. I'm going to call this column text column, and we can see the 2 bits of text, the item name and the item class, have themselves been wrapped in their own individual layouts. The text column is the parent of these 2 text layouts, and therefore it is from the text column that we can control the vertical gap in between its children. So over here in its properties, this is where we can control the vertical gap.
Okay, but I bet we can also control it via the position property of each text element, can't we? Okay, now we have it again. Let's move that. Huh. Okay, this is unexpected. Hug. What the heck? Okay, let's undo everything because I want to understand. Okay, so let's move you over. So you have this transform and this box. How did the box appear? I don't remember. Okay, So if you click, it creates a dummy text with a box, and the box follows. Okay, so what I did here was probably bad because I duplicated the text, which duplicated their bounding box. And for this reason, I have the text wrapped into a box that doesn't really fit it. Fixed size. I can't remove that. That's... Oh. Fixed size versus auto width, auto height. Okay. So I can fix it. Yes. Okay, so there clearly is something going on with bounding box. Maybe it's linked to the artboard stuff we were discussing before. Let's remove blah blah blah. It's way too French to be accepted on this channel. And move back to here. So let me understand the transform a little bit better. I don't see at the moment maybe I should put the mic here. I don't see at the moment no anchor point information, which is weird because clearly there is one and it's here on the top left. So it's probably handled with a line. No. Where did that leave? Line 2. There's like, okay, so you can change. So this is the first time origin. This is it. Yeah, okay, so we found it. And this one is just a nice way to have the anchor point or the origin, it seems it's called here, aligned to the bottom of the text, which is quite welcome if you ask me. So yeah, okay, so the size of the bounding box is here. I'm not sure how important it is to create this auto height. Okay, so auto width. I think it probably did is text with, when you do just T, I think it's what we've seen. Yeah, it's like that. So move back to auto width for everybody. Line. Oh, let's just see. Yeah, okay, so if you shift L, it aligns them. Anyway, oh, and there you get the alignment options. Yes. And so, like he said, here you have the spacing, vertical gap. But really, the relationship between this transform and the gap is what I was focused on. And this is what puzzles me, because it seems to be keeping the shell of the text bounding box. Oh, okay, I see. There's is probably a relationship. So, okay. This is the initial position of the text, and when you make a column, or I don't remember how we called it, but we'll find it again. The text hands over no, it's pretty nested. Sorry, so position layout selection. Also, I did create a layout, which wasn't what I intended. So the name I was looking for just earlier was a layout. Okay, so if we select several items, we get those. What? Alignment options, yes. But so the transform is clear. It's 160 by 65. So now if I layout selection, it creates a column. So it's the same thing as Shift L. And the layout has a position that pretty much matches what we had before. That makes sense. And if, oh, they're nested in their own layout for each. Okay, I see. So creating a layout for those two items did create another stage of layout, another nesting of layouts, which is what confused me earlier. Text A, run on. And even a text item is not just text. It's a container for something called a run. Okay. Looks like this program is pretty complex, but that looks fine. So yeah, let's call that looking for a run. A Russ? No, a run. Yeah, okay. What the fuck is a run? Oh, it's just text property. Okay, it's not exposed in text runs. Name run one. Maybe it has to do with animation. So if I go there, it's just another way of, so it's exposed at the top level. So I don't think it's very important that we check that out too deeply. It doesn't look to matter that much at the moment. Okay, so at this pace, it will take like forever to go through the whole 1 hour and 20-ish minutes that this tutorial is. Yeah. Anyways. Okay. So, still not sure of how the transform works with all this nesting. I already don't like the too much. In After Effects, I feel that when you have shape layers, it gets pretty convoluted with transform pretty quickly, and I'm just worried here as well because it looks like we have 3 layers of transform, but maybe I worry for nothing. So where was I? Yes, layout, text layout, so text. Okay, so this one completely gave up its position. It was 165 and 65, so 161, something like that. And it is not repercuted here because here it's the transform, I think it's the relative transform regarding to the parent layout, which it has the it's probably the original position of the item name text. Let's undo everything and check. Okay, so maybe I've changed something. So let's just memorize this one instead of and make it easy. Let's say that it's 150 and you are at 25. Nice and easy. Okay. It's not 150 and 25 at all. It rather looks like it's an average of the two positions. Oh, anyways, it moves. Yeah, it moves stuff a little bit. 150, 62, 25. So you have to accept that your placement is now handled by this column layout thing. 52 or 62. So let's do 75. See who wins. What's the rule here? Okay, it pretty much looks like the layout coordinates are calculated after. Oh, it's not the layout coordinates because when I move that, it doesn't change at all. Huh. Okay, there's a system for. I'm so confused. It's complex. So now we are in absolute position, constrained by parent. Hug. Okay, so hug must be the type of behavior you have when you resize the window, meaning it probably shrinks. This one is not exposed. Computed transform. Ah, maybe this is what I was supposed to be looking at. Ah, this moves. Okay. Okay, so you have access to both both type of transform, the relative and the computed one. Hardware world. Let's move back again one more time. Will it be the last? I'm not sure. Okay. So yeah, 150, 75, 150, 25. It makes for a 50 difference. Shift L, it was 150.25. So it takes after the top one in the end. I don't know what this position means actually. It's probably the width and the height. Yeah, it must be that. Yeah, but we're missing 25. That's probably, it's just the height of this box here. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this is the size of each bounding box. 36. So this one is 36 and this one is 24. So that makes for a total of 60. So that means this gap must be 15. And we have access to that. We are supposed to have access to that here. It's 14. I don't know. It should be 15, I suppose. Now that this is 15. Oh, it doesn't change the overall size. I'm really confused. Let's do 20. Okay, this is really confusing to me. I think I'm missing a big piece of. So let's put it back to 4. But maybe it's time to move on, right? I think we spent a lot of time trying to understand the transforms. Okay, so back to the tutorial.
I'm just going to set it to be 0. Next, I'm going to highlight my text.
0. Let's set it to be 0, okay? Yes.
Column and my image, and then tap Shift L. And as you can see, that has arranged them in a row. So we now have our image that's been wrapped in a layout, and we have our text column. I'm going to call this row image and text row, and it is
I'm not sure I like this naming scheme, but let's roll with it.
here in the parent of these two layouts that we can change the horizontal gap between its children. So we can go over to the image and text row properties and change this horizontal gap. I'll change it to 10 pixels. And finally, I'm going to highlight the image and text row and the text description underneath. Tap Shift L, and as you can see, that has arranged them in a column. And I'm going to call this column item column.
I think he wants to show us something, like wrapping the text.
And if we open up the item column, you can see the image and text row and the text description underneath. And because the item column is the parent of these two layouts, it is from here in the item column that we can control the vertical gap between its children. So if we go over to the item column settings, we can change the vertical gap, and I'll set it to 10. Now we have a bunch of stuff that we need to edit. The first thing I'm going to do is change the size of the artboard so that we can fit the text description underneath. Next, I'm going to highlight
be much longer to fit the one seen in the tutorial. And let's group that too. What happens now that Okay, it's still responsive.
Like my item column, and I'm going to change its positioning to be 0 on the left and 0 on the top. Now what I want to happen is the item column fits perfectly within the size of this component. That way, when we change the size of the component, it will change the size of our design. So let's look at its fit settings. Up here, it's set to hug the width and hug the height of its child layout. I'm actually going to change it to a fixed width and a fixed height. Now I know what you're thinking. A fixed width and a fixed height is not being controlled by the size of the component. However,
wasn't really thinking that, but this distinction is interesting to me because I'm not very used to working with things that resize, since I'm not at all from the web design world. So yeah.
Right now it's set to be a fixed pixel width.
I think it was pretty interesting thing
and
to
a
say.
fixed pixel height. But we can actually change this. If we click on the pixel icon, we can change it to %. And if I change them both to 100%, that means that no matter what size our item component, it will change the size of our item column layout. I'm now going to highlight my item column and set some padding around its children.
I'm confused.
So I just go down here and set them.
So he made the text responsive again by using percentage values instead of pixels. Okay, that makes sense, but that also makes me wonder what the hell is hug. Because I was expecting that this would be exactly that, but apparently it's not. So he moved that here. I think that this was set to 0, or maybe no, it was set to 10. And what was it after that? It was set to fixed, and okay, so this gets its okay. So this recoups our interrogations of what was this thing earlier, because now we know that it's linked to the artboard size. So this is very handy. I think there definitely is a world where you can use that to do thumbnails. I'm obsessed with thumbnails. I love this kind of feature. I don't understand why. Okay, so no, I don't. There is something I don't understand. I'm not sure I did that on the correct piece.
Padding on the left and right to 10, and the padding on the top and bottom to 10.
Okay, let's do the. So it was actually on the correct piece, on the item column. This time it's not on the correct piece. This is where I should have put the padding.
I'm also going to give it a background color. And I now want to give this text description its own background color. And to do this, I need to select it and wrap it in another layout. So Shift L. And I'll call this text description.
I knew I did something wrong. I think I just didn't change the size of the artboard correctly. Still not convinced that what I did is okay.
I'm going to change its fit to fill the width of its parent layout and fill the height of its parent layout. I'm going to add some padding on the left and right, and the top and bottom.
Ouch. Why? Why? Why is it all purple? I selected everything here. Item column.
And then I'll add a background color.
That's interesting. So it fills the rest, it seems. This too is pretty powerful. Background color, you say. So probably something. And yes, it needed padding too. It was 1010. No? I definitely missed something, I think. Probably that. So I added the background at the incorrect spot, I think. And now this should do the padding like he has. Yes, except that now I have a weird stroke, which I don't know if it is really a stroke or just some indication. It looks like it's a real stroke. Except I don't know where it is. Okay, let's move back a few steps. Maybe we can fix this. Oh no, I think it was actually just the normal thing. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's just the bounding box of the text, this text layout, I think.
Awesome. We have designed our first component. Now let's design another. A. And I'll call this artboard stats. Delete its background color and set it to be a component. The first thing I'm going to create in the stats component is a rectangle. So go up to your create tools and select rectangle. Then click and drag. I'm going to change the color of this rectangle to white, select it, duplicate it with Command D, move that over to the right, and change this rectangle's color to black. We can now turn these two rectangles into a bar that represents a number. So if I highlight both of them, tap Shift L to put them into a row layout, and I'm going to do a few things. First of all, I'll turn off absolute positioning.
Okay, so I think I need to start doing the stuff before I forget everything it just said. So he said, so a new artboard, call it stat. So this one is called item actually. I forgot that I needed to name it. This one is stat. It has no background. Yeah. It drew two rectangles. I'm not sure I drew.
Highlight both of them.
No, it's not the same thing. This is an artboard. This is not a rectangle. So, hell. Oh, this is another artboard. Yeah, okay. Yes, this is the rectangle tool. So, first one was... Ah! Alt was the thing that made it all purple. So I'm not sure I understand why this is doing that, but it has to have a meaning. He said control, so let's make it white. T. No. Use this and make it black. And Shift L. Oops. What? Oh, that was weird. And position absolute not. Now constrained by parents.
Tap Shift L to put them into a row layout. And I'm going to do a few things. First of all, I'll turn off absolute positioning. I'm going to change the width to fill the parent layout. And I'm going to change the horizontal gap between its children to 0.
Fill. Okay, so it's only the container of the row that fills, and here 0. There is a strange overlap that I'm not sure I understand, but let's move on.
Next, I'm going to go into the row.
I'm not sure he has the
and change
overlap.
the fit of the white bar to be a fixed width in percent. I'm going to change the fit of the black bar to fill the remaining width of its parent layout. So now when we come to data binding, all we need to do is control this pixel amount, and it will control this bar.
Interesting. I think I will like this program. I really do. It looks super procedural. It really has Houdini vibes. So this one, it's the white one, yes. And he said fill, I think, and no, fixed, and a value in pixel 32, and black one was fill. And so he said after that when you use data bindings, you just have to accept that it's way over 100, so I must have missed something. Let's try that again.
Next up, I'm going to create.
Yeah, clearly his thing is doing the percentage thing correctly when mine is not.
2 bits
so
parent
I missed
and change the
part.
fit. Next, I'm going to go into the row and change the fit of the white bar to be a fixed width in percent. And I'm going to change the fit of the black bar to fill the remaining width of its parent layout. So now when we come to data binding, all we need to do is control.
So this is the white, and this is the black. So fixed. Yes. In pixel. In percentage. This was the missing piece. I was in pixels. I don't know why I... Yes, okay, so now I'm doing the thing too, except that I have this weird trespassing, I don't know how to put it otherwise. This weird, not really great overlap, so let's start again. Maybe I did modify the scale at some point or something like that. So let's do rounded values. This is fine. Now, right. So Control D, move that over, make it black. Okay, Shift L. Now 0 out. It looks better already. So in this thing, we needed to remove the gap here. Yeah, I must have changed the scale or something along those lines. Okay, so now we make it fixed. We make that percentage, and you are a fill. Okay, so I did that wrong once again because I did not apply the fixed thing on the white. So let's do the... Where is the... I don't know why it was not there to begin with. Okay, so padding... No, not padding. What is it called? Horizontal gap. None. This. Now I need to dive in. Okay. This is fixed. And this is percentage. And this is fill. And yeah, so this is probably fill 2. No. I suppose this will do it, but I think that okay, I think we're good. I think we're good, but I'm not sure I did it exactly the same way he did. I mean, 100. So this one is high.
Control this pixel
Let's
amount.
just check
Fit.
it once again.
And I'm going to row layout. And I'm going to do a few things. First of all, I'll turn off absolute positioning. I'm going to change the width to fill the parent layout. And I'm going to change the horizontal.
Okay, so yes, it's fill. So it did fill, not fixed. But why don't I have, oh, I do have fill. I have fill, but
Horizontal gap between its children to 0. Next, I'm going to go into the
when I do fill, it's not the same. I don't understand. Oh, this, oh, okay, I get it. I didn't parent this. It was not a component, so this was not nested inside. Can I? No. Maybe making it a component is enough and gives me access to. No, it's not that. Huh.
row and change the fit of the white bar to fill the parent that represents a number. So if I highlight both of them, tap Shift L to put them into a row layout, and I'm going to do a few things. First of all, I'll turn off absolute positioning. I'm going to change the width to fill the parent layout, and I'm going to change positioning. I'm going to change the width to
I don't know why I don't have fill. Let's do it again. Sorry, this is probably super boring, but I like to know what I'm doing. I still don't have it. This puzzles me, but it's okay. Let's move on. So let's do fixed 100% and you. Now you are also and you are fill. Ah, so okay, so the same nesting that happened when we grouped the text did also happen on those shapes. So now I have those names buried inside of the thing, and now if I take white and go to 100%. It's okay, but this is only because... No, it's not. Interesting. I was almost expecting that this would be just an operation of masking, like we have the black one that is always filling, but no, it's not like that. It's actually shrunk down to 0 because this one is, there is no layering. It's communication between the two. Okay.
To fill the parent layout, and I'm going to change the horizontal gap between its children to 0. Next, I'm going to go into the row and change the fit of the white bar to be a fixed width in percent. And I'm going to change the fit of the black bar to fill the remaining width of its parent.
So I wonder now if, since I have a fixed thing, if I move here, it's still following. So this item being fixed in percentage. Okay, so now if it's in pixels. Okay, so this is interesting. It looks like I have the same result, but I have one less option if I compare to this tutorial. Let's grab that again and make it a percentage again. And check we didn't break anything. No, it's okay.
Layout. So now when we come to data binding, all we need to do is control this pixel amount, and it will control this bar. Next up, I'm going to create 2 bits of text, duplicate that text layer, move it over to the right, and change this one to be a number. Highlight these 2 bits of text, tap Shift L to put them into a row, and then I'm going to highlight both of these rows and tap Shift L to put them inside a column. If we go over to the column in the hierarchy, we can change their order just by clicking and dragging one below the other. So now the text is above the bar.
Interesting. So the order is not about layer depth, it's about position. This makes this this window on the right pretty different to what I assumed it was last time, which was some kind of layer window. It's not. It definitely is not. The last 2 examples are good illustration of that fact. What was it? Power. And okay. I don't think he inputted a percentage. No. So Shift L and Shift L again. Oh, this time it broke. This time it broke because now it takes the column as its parent, and weirdly the column size does not really okay, so the order in which you select the items does matter. Earlier I interesting. So earlier I must have done the other way around. What is that? So sorry, but I think I need to go back to the last selected item. What are you? Go away. What? What did I do? The last selected item must be no. How did I have it completely shrunk the other time? I don't know. So yeah, I will group them, and I can probably use fixed and percentage, because if I keep it like so, yes. This is and now okay. Okay, so that's it for today because I have somewhere I need to go, but we'll definitely continue with that tutorial until we see it through, which might take, I don't know, 6 months. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope it was not completely uninteresting. At least for me it was fun. But yes, I know I've been diving pretty deep in weird questionings about position, but I mean, the point here is to do that. Yes, I really need to go. Sorry. And I